You open a door, walk across the room, maybe even talk to someone, yet later you remember absolutely nothing. It sounds impossible, but for millions of people around the world, this happens while they are asleep. This strange condition is called sleepwalking, and despite how mysterious it may seem, it is a real biological phenomenon studied by scientists for decades. Sleepwalking, also known as somnambulism, occurs when a person partially wakes up during deep sleep. The body becomes active, but the mind remains asleep. This unusual state allows a person to move, perform simple actions, and even complete complex tasks without conscious awareness. When they wake up in the morning, there is usually no memory of what happened. To understand sleepwalking, we first need to understand how sleep works. Human sleep is divided into cycles that repeat throughout the night. Each cycle includes light sleep, deep sleep, and rapid eye movement sleep. Sleepwalking usually happens during deep sleep, which occurs mostly in the first half of the night. During this stage, the brain is supposed to be resting deeply while the body remains still. In sleepwalking, something unusual happens. Certain parts of the brain wake up while others remain asleep. The motor regions, which control movement, become active. The visual regions may also partially activate, allowing the eyes to remain open. However, the prefrontal cortex, which controls logic, decision-making, and self-awareness, stays inactive. This is why sleepwalkers can move but cannot think clearly or make conscious decisions. Because of this imbalance, sleepwalking movements often appear purposeful but lack true intention. A person may open doors, rearrange objects, eat food, or speak simple sentences. However, these actions are driven by automatic brain patterns rather than conscious thought. Scientists describe this state as the brain being split between sleep and wakefulness. One of the most fascinating aspects of sleepwalking is memory loss. Since the areas of the brain responsible for forming memories are not fully awake, the events are not stored properly. This is why sleepwalkers usually have no recollection of their actions. Even if someone talks to them during an episode, they will not remember the conversation afterward. Sleepwalking is more common than many people realize. It affects about 15% of children at least once during childhood. In adults, the number is lower, but millions still experience occasional episodes. Children are more prone to sleepwalking because their nervous systems are still developing, and their sleep cycles are deeper and less stable. Genetics also play an important role. Studies show that sleepwalking often runs in families. If one parent has a history of sleepwalking, the child has a higher risk of experiencing it. If both parents have experienced sleepwalking, the risk increases even more. Scientists believe that genes influence how deeply a person sleeps and how easily different parts of the brain wake up. Although genetics create a predisposition, sleepwalking is often triggered by external factors. Stress is one of the most common triggers. When the brain is under emotional or mental pressure, it may enter deeper sleep as a form of recovery. This deep sleep increases the chance of partial awakenings that lead to sleepwalking. Lack of sleep is another major factor. When a person is sleep deprived, the brain tries to compensate by entering deeper sleep stages more quickly. This increases instability in sleep patterns and raises the likelihood of sleepwalking episodes. Irregular sleep schedules can have the same effect. Certain substances can also increase the risk. Alcohol, sedative medications, and some sleep aids can interfere with normal sleep architecture. These substances may suppress parts of the brain unevenly, making partial awakenings more likely. Fever and illness can also disrupt sleep and trigger episodes, especially in children. The sleeping environment plays an important role as well. Loud noises, bright lights, uncomfortable temperatures, or physical disturbances during sleep can trigger sudden partial awakenings. Even something as simple as a full bladder or hunger can contribute to sleepwalking in sensitive individuals. One of the reasons sleepwalking appears frightening is that the person often looks awake. Their eyes may be open, and they may respond to simple questions. However, their responses are usually slow, confused, or nonsensical. This can be disturbing for family members who do not realize the person is asleep. Sleepwalking behaviors vary in complexity. Simple sleepwalking may involve sitting up in bed, walking around the room, or making small movements. Complex sleepwalking can include cooking, cleaning, leaving the house, or attempting to drive. In rare cases, people have injured themselves or others during episodes. Despite these risks, most sleepwalking episodes are harmless. The biggest danger comes from the environment rather than the condition itself. Stairs, sharp objects, open windows, and unlocked doors can turn a harmless episode into a serious accident. For this reason, safety is a major concern in households with sleepwalkers. There is a common myth that waking a sleepwalking person is dangerous. In reality, waking them may cause confusion or fear, but it is not physically harmful. However, experts usually recommend gently guiding the person back to bed instead of waking them abruptly. Calm and slow movements reduce stress and prevent sudden reactions. Modern technology has helped scientists study sleepwalking in greater detail. Brain scans show that during episodes, some brain networks behave as if the person is awake, while others remain deeply asleep. This confirms that sleepwalking is not a psychological problem but a neurological state. Sleepwalking is also linked to other sleep disorders. People who experience night terrors, sleep talking, or restless sleep are more likely to sleepwalk. These conditions share a common mechanism involving incomplete transitions between sleep stages. Managing sleepwalking focuses on prevention rather than cure. Since episodes occur during sleep, the goal is to stabilize sleep patterns and reduce triggers. One of the most effective strategies is maintaining good sleep hygiene. Going to bed and waking up at the same time every day helps regulate the brain's internal clock. Getting enough sleep is crucial. When the body is well rested, deep sleep becomes more stable and less likely to produce partial awakenings. Reducing stress through relaxation techniques. Physical activity, or meditation, can also lower the risk. The sleep environment should be optimized for comfort and safety. The bedroom should be quiet, dark, and cool. Removing obstacles, securing windows, and locking doors can prevent accidents. In some cases, installing safety gates or alarms may be helpful. Lifestyle choices matter as well. Avoiding caffeine, alcohol, and heavy meals before bedtime improves sleep quality. Reducing screen time before sleep allows the brain to transition more smoothly into rest. Gentle evening routines signal the brain that it is time to sleep. In severe or frequent cases, medical intervention may be necessary. Doctors may recommend sleep studies to rule out other disorders. In some situations, medication is prescribed to suppress deep sleep or stabilize sleep cycles. Psychological counseling may help when stress or anxiety plays a major role. It is important to understand that sleepwalking is not a sign of mental illness or weakness. It is a natural result of how the human brain manages sleep. The condition highlights how complex and powerful the brain truly is, capable of controlling the body even when consciousness is absent. Sleepwalking reminds us that sleep is not simply an on or off state. It is a dynamic process where different parts of the brain can operate independently. This unique phenomenon continues to fascinate scientists and offers valuable insight into the connection between the mind and the body. With proper understanding, safety measures, and healthy habits, sleepwalking can be managed effectively. Most people outgrow it, and for those who do not, simple adjustments can greatly reduce risks. The key is awareness, patience, and respect for the complexity of the sleeping brain. Sleepwalking may seem mysterious, but it is a window into the hidden workings of the human mind. Even while asleep, the brain remains active, powerful, and capable of surprising behaviors. By understanding this phenomenon, we learn not only how sleep works, but also how extraordinary the human brain truly is.